I'm speaking to you in the middle of our Chag Sukkot here in the United States. We're celebrating Jews world over. It should be a time, it's a Siman Simchotenu, it's a time, it should be just a happiness and joy. But unfortunately, it has not been that way this Sukkot. And there was, as you know, terrible, tragic murders of most wonderful people on earth, Rabbi and Mrs. Eitan and Nama Henkin. Then we witnessed also the death and the murder of Benita, and then Rabbi Lavi, I think, who died trying to save him, murdered by Arab terrorists in cold blood. And they relish, they celebrate their murder. This is incredible. And our condolences to the family, our condolences to Am Yisrael, our condolences to ourselves. Anybody who's somewhat of a feeling Jew senses a personal tragedy that affected us, as they have in all these cases in the past. Just last week, we heard one of the most wonderful, incredible speeches ever given, certainly ever given in the United Nations, from Prime Minister Netanyahu, who really outlined everything that had to be said and put everything in a proper perspective and let the UN know what it is: a bunch of uncaring, silent human beings when it comes to the suffering of Jews. And we were all very proud to hear that speech. At the same time, he was condemning of Abbas, President Abbas of the Palestinian Authority, if he deserves the title president. But this is not enough. Abbas is directly responsible for the murders of these people. It's his people. He does not condemn the murders. He helps celebrate the murders. And some of his own associates within the various branches of the Fatah movement have openly taken credit for the murders of this wonderful couple, the Henkins. What I don't understand, and it's easy for me to judge, I'm sitting here comfortably in America. It's very easy for me to judge. But you know, in Yiddish they say, which means that sometimes if you're a guest in a situation, in a community, you see a lot more than the people who are entrenched every day. So I'm just a guest dropping in on this broadcast from America. But the way it seems to me is Mr. Abbas should be arrested as being a war criminal, as being a terrorist. Those who came out clearly and said and took credit for it, the IDF should be searching for these people, arresting them for murder. This is what it is. The Arabs, we just have to learn this, to think otherwise, that we can somehow live in coexistence with the Arabs. Day and day again, tragedy after tragedy again, we see this is a hashlaya. It's a dream. It's a phantom. It cannot come to fruition. I further don't wonder, now that they've shot dead a couple of these terrorists in Jerusalem the other day, I'm wondering what are they going to do with those bodies of the people that they killed. Are they just going to give them back here are your bodies, bury them? Why aren't they holding on to them? Why aren't they saying, we want our boys, even the dead boys, returned from Gaza? There are still many dead boys from Lebanon who are unaccounted for. We want those bodies back. Then we'll talk about giving the wretched carcasses of these terrorists back to you. There's so much more that has to be done. We have to stop hiring Arabs throughout Israel even if you check them for weapons, but you put them in stores, and I understand this is still going on, and they're cutting fish, and they're cutting meat, and they have meat cleavers, and they have knives at their disposal. We have to treat each and every Arab, it's not politically correct, but it's just the hard-driven truth to us, each and every Arab as a suspect until proven otherwise. And so we have we sing in the Hatikva, Liot Am Chavshi Be'artzenu. How are we in Am Chavshi? Are we Chavshi to go where we want? Are we free to go wherever we want? Are we free to go to the Temple Mount when we want? Are we free to go to Har Zeitim when we want? Are we free to just travel in our cars throughout Israel when we want? If we are true Zionist and we live true to the song that we sing, Liot Am Chavshi Be'artzenu, we have to assure the Chavshiyut, we have to assure the fact that we can be free, we have to take strong measures. Again, I'm sitting here comfortably in America, and it's easy for me to give eitzot to the Rosh Hashanah. but this is the way we see it from here, and it makes every bit of sense. And I know he's up against world opinion. I know he's even up against the president of our own United States. But it's a question of Jewish survival and survival for Am Yisrael. Let's hope that this Chag will, now that it's coming to its conclusion, will at least begin to bring in much better news. We'll begin to celebrate Simchas Day the way it should be, and we should all be able to come together and say, Liot Am Chavshi B'Artzeinu, and let's see that we finally killed this Memsheles Zadon Min Haaretz, this evil government known as the Palestinian government, basically all the Arab governments. Let's see that this all comes to an end, and we can all, the world can rest in peace together, living b'shalom. Amen.